Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Plate with Carol, where we will explore food and a little beyond. So come along with me on this journey and see what we uncover. Welcome to my very first podcast. I am very, very excited, mainly because of my guest, really. My very first guest is my son, who this would not be possible without him. So I want to thank him, but let me welcome on my son, Tyler. Hi, Tyler.
Hello, everyone. I feel honored being your first guest on your first ever podcast.
Tyler, it is so appropriate. It really, really is. So welcome. And we are going to, just so you know what to expect, like I said at the beginning, we're going to talk food. My husband and I are pretty big foodies. We love to travel around and go check out new places to eat and drink and, outside venues, with the summer coming and stuff like that. So that's...
And I will say one thing that's cool that we like that you do that made us start doing is you get involved in social media on like New Hampshire Eats and those pages, because you'll ask for recommendations and then read the comments. And then
love that.
Me and Amanda, we're like, oh, mom posted again. Let's see what she's craving for dinner tonight. But we go off those recommendations a lot, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. It really works, those sites. They really, really does. Another thing, too, you can also find Beyond the Plate. You will find us on YouTube. You will find us on Instagram. And you'll also find us on TikTok. So I love this because you can just be nice and casual. We're just sitting on the couch and we're chatting. So anyway, let's get right into it. So like I said, my very first guest is my son, Tyler. So excited. Tyler... Oh gosh. I mean, you all know I am the owner of the Red Arrow Diners. We have 4 locations. And of course, Tyler was born into the Red Arrow Diner.
Yep, literally say I was born in the basement. I wasn't really, but it feels like I was. I grew up with the diner.
Love that. He totally grew up at the diner for sure. So, over the years, he's worked at all the locations. I think, did you work in Nashua?
You're just like a little bit. You just your own way to fill in. I helped fill in a couple times.
I can say you've worked at all the locations, which is cool. I wasn't sure about Nashua. I didn't quite remember, but yeah, you did the first few months or whatever. But then Tyler moved to Maine, found his love of his life, Amanda, and they moved to Maine. And he started his own restaurant. It was an existing restaurant, and it was called HAPS Roast Beef.
Yep, right? It was HAPS Roast Beef in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on Lafayette. It still is, HAPS Roast Beef. It's been there since 2008, so it has some roots in the community.
Right.
It's like I would be the 4th or 5th owner. There was a couple owners. Like it's a little flaky history that you can't really find. But yeah, so we bought HAPS.
Just tell us about it. Keep going. I want the listeners to hear all about HAPS.
Yeah, so it's no disrespect. The first owners were incredible. It's Deb and Joe. They started it. It was named after Joe's father. He was the happiest guy alive, so they made HAPS the HAPS.
Are you kidding? I didn't know that.
Yep. Oh yeah. So we found it, and a customer brought in an old shirt, which is so cool because we don't do seafood there, but they used to do seafood, and on the shirt, you would like this because of the lingo from diner times, the happiest haddock on the seacoast. And it's like a big haddock smiling on the back shirt. And I'm like, okay, I would definitely get along with these old owners.
Right.
And that's kind of where I saw HAPS is kind of, no disrespect to any of the past couple owners and stuff, but they had a heart, or maybe they had dreams to make it something special, but, health got in the way, or whatever got in the way for them. And you could tell it was just like a forgotten sub shop, going missing lights, missing ceiling tiles, just your basic dive sub shop that probably had decent food.
It needed some love. They ignored it, and
so we saw a really great opportunity, closed on HAPS, and we started just having fun. We changed out the whole staff in there. Again, it was owner operated, so we didn't really replace anyone. But we just went in for about a year. I feel like we did exactly what the old owner was doing. We didn't really switch much. I just wanted to kind of learn what HAPS was. And slowly we started chipping away on the food quality, replacing things, removing things, fixing things. And honestly, the biggest thing was it's roast beef. It's a roast beef shop, so we had to perfect roast beef. We tried oven cooking, convection, baking, sous vide, all these different types of cooking methods. And I guess the biggest game changer was once we got a real slicer. Once we got it's a Burkell 910 slicer from 1986. And
which is a big deal.
That's a very big deal. That was like one of the best upgrades. And once we got a roast beef slicer, it started like slicing the beef exactly how we wanted it. So we wanted to improve the flavor, improve the quality, and that's what we did.
And you definitely did that. I mean, just watching you do all that it's just been amazing. Daryl and I both were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was fun, especially when you don't know anything about roast beef when you first get in there. It was really fun asking others about how they do their roast beef and how you find out it's kind of a cult and also a secretive thing, and they have their own ways, their methods, because it's North Shore style roast beef, so it's pink and rare. Anything gray, it's not what you want. Could we serve gray beef all day, every day, and still be just as busy? Yes.
So is gray beef okay then?
Yeah, it's not appetizing, but that reminds me of like Old Neighborhood or just like that packaged roast beef you get at that grocery store, and people are still buying that every single day.
Right.
So at first I got kind of caught up on like, oh, it has to be pink, has to be thick. Like you realize people care, but they'll eat anything.
Okay. I mean, the one thing I definitely learned, you just said it's a cult. And in the roast beef world, that is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those like initials, like
so yeah, Facebook pages, flavor of beef, yep.
Oh
plate,
my God.
Napkin count, how much beef to bun ratio. That's a really big thing. Because you'll still find
cheese not melted, really.
Cheese not melted, cheese on bottom, COB, cheese on bottom, yes or no?
I had to ask Amanda. I'm like, Amanda, you need to send me the abbreviations, please, because I have no idea what any of these mean.
Yeah, and we're talking, this is about the North Shore Beef's Facebook page. I think they have like somewhere right around 50,000 members. They're great. It's a vulgar community, which is a little different.
Vulgar.
But they're beefers. We call them beefers. That's what they do. They like to give each other crap, and
it's amazing because I never knew that existed.
Yeah, but honestly, I really I hate that page and love that page because it did help us have good beef, have good consistency. If you did let a gray beef slide, they'll let you know about it. They'll post about it, give you a 2-star rating, 45 comments about shitting on your place, and that keeps it really, really exciting.
Love it. And another thing that I want to bring up, like I said, you worked at all the diners, and you worked in just about every capacity, really, from dishwashing to prepping to line cooking, out front to manager. I mean, you did all the aspects. So sitting back and watching you, like I said, it's just been a joy. And then watching the different things that you add to HAPS to make it HAPS.
Exactly.
Like you have what I had started, the diner doodles. He has these HAPS doodles now, which I just think is so cool.
And and exactly. And I felt weird doing that stuff. But then like you reassured me, like it's not. It's what made the Red Arrow what it is, and it's our personal touch on it, and it's all I know. I loved it. And we do coloring contests. We have kids come in, they ask for the doodle, and like I watch the same thing. I did that with Jesse growing up. We'd go get our doodle, go sit down. Mom goes in the office, and we color on our piece of paper and have some fun.
It's me watching myself when I watch you.
Yeah,
it really is. It's like, oh my gosh. Like even, I have a sewing store, and April is the one that, she's like the behind the scenes, the head girl there. And she, of course, follows you too. And she watches you and she's like, oh my gosh, he is just like you. Like, are you kidding me? So when I hear that, I crack up. I just think that's great. Now, we would be amiss if we did not mention that when you do go into HAPS, just like the Red Arrow Diner in Manchester on Lowell Street, when you ask to go to the bathroom, we tell you to follow the arrows on the ceiling, and everybody's like, where am I going? Like, where is this bathroom? Well, the bathroom is literally in the kitchen, which is part of the charm of the Manchester Diner. And, my son is no different because when you do go visit HAPS, you must, even if you don't have to go, actually, after eating a delicious beef and you get it like all over your face and your hands, you're going to need to go use the bathroom anyway because you're going to need to wash your hands. But you must visit the bathroom. So, Tyler, I want you to walk us into the bathroom at HAPS in Portsmouth.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. I have always thought it was funny. Like, I guess I grew up with how many customers were brought into the diner because of the bathroom. They're like, oh, we told you guys have great food, but also to check out the bathroom. You got to walk through the kitchen or something. And I guess working there for, my whole life and seeing that, and
30.
I guess I got it stapled in my head that I wanted a cool bathroom out of Roast Beef Shack. So we did. We ripped everything out and put up that. I guess I get inspiration from like Dennis growing up, my stepfather, and then Uncle Brian, who really he likes to button things up and make sure they look good. And we just went pretty on hand with that. I don't know how to explain it. If there's wallpaper, there's murals, there's portraits. We have a black toilet, a beautiful sink,
Gold fixture,
fixtures,
fine art, like seriously fine art.
good art that
It's like you're walking into a
Chandelier.
New York speakeasy.
exactly.
What
It gives that vibe, and it just makes customers go, wait, what?
You open the door and you go, where am I going? Like, what is this? Like, and the other thing that people do talk about too when they walk into the HAPS bathroom is the smell.
Yeah, so it has its own scent machine that's like it gets pumped through the ceiling, and then it also has its own music playlist. So it's just this one song too on repeat because no one should be in there long enough to realize. And yeah, it makes it's an experience, and it did bring in like a different group of people because they're like, well, we told you guys have a cool bathroom and good food, so I figured to come try out your sandwiches today and check out the bathroom. And I thought it was just a funny little joke, but people take it seriously and they love it. Before we announced that we're kind of closing up shop, we were about to fully go into the second one because I wanted to do a full Mexican theme, like Mexican tiles, Mexican walls, Mexican everything, music. They sell tortilla chip scent, which is kind of cool. It does bring in business. If you own a restaurant, I definitely would invest in your bathroom and have fun with it because
it's creative. It's called creative marketing, and you get that from me.
And I got that from you. Exactly. Same with talking to influencers, having influencers come and have a beef, and it definitely brings in business. It was crazy.
Sure.
We had a couple influencers come and then weeks after you get new type of people coming into your store. Oh, well, I saw that on Facebook. Oh, I saw it on Instagram. And
the other thing I never realized was a thing is there's actually Facebook groups and Instagram groups and all that about bathroom reviews. Mm-hmm. So if you go to any of the bathroom reviews in the area, just Google HAPS and you'll see his bathroom because it's pretty freaking cool. Pretty cool. Now, you did mention, because people listening, and just so you know, you are listening to Beyond the Plate with Carol, and this is my very first podcast, and my guest is my son, Tyler. We are talking about his business currently, which is HAPS Roast Beef in Portsmouth. They're over on Lafayette Road. And you did mention, Tyler, so I mean, we do need to tell people about you making a decision, pretty big decision you and Amanda are making, your fiance, about what the future of HAPS is. So why don't you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we had our first little munchkin.
My very first grandbaby. And you guys that all have grandbabies, you have been saying to me for 9 months, it's just different. It's just so different. And I'm like, wow, how can it be that different? Okay, it's a grandbaby. Well, it is very true. It is different. It's just, you look at your son being a daddy for the first time. And I mean, I'm getting tears in my eyes right now just saying that. It's just been, I can't wait. I mean, it hasn't even been, it's a week today. It'll be a week today. No, that was yesterday. She's a week old yesterday.
She's 8 days old.
7.5 days old right now. So, yeah, it's just been fun. So go ahead.
No, so yeah, that's, I don't know.
Well, we were talking about HAPS closing.
There we go.
Or selling, or
I don't know. Those 9 months were really build up. We have, I have a baby and I'm a dad, and I'm she's texting me right now. Can't wait till you get back so we can walk to Portsmouth. We're a 15-minute walk to Portsmouth. We live in Kittery, and it's beautiful little sidewalks to go to Portsmouth. So we're having and that's it's crazy how much your expectations change, or your day to day.
It changes.
It's I always thought I was so busy, wake up to bedtime, and then now it's we're still so busy, but now it's everything to do with Josie, and everything else is still piecing together, which is great. So yeah, we had the decision to close HAPS. I took over HAPS, and the lease. So yeah, so the lease, I took over a 10-year lease, and there were 2.5 years left on it, and we're about to hit that 2.5 year mark. I do have a couple extensions and stuff, but I guess I really thought about the future of HAPS and the brand and opportunities. And we also do have an edible kitchen in Maine that is doing very, very, very.
The second business for you, yeah.
Yeah, it's always been, that's the main reason why we moved to Maine 4 years ago. Me and Amanda, I don't know if you know this, we knew each other for 3.5 months, and then we signed a lease in Maine and moved together to do the edible thing. And it's been really great and fun.
Well, you're doing a great job too. So you made the decision.
So
your perspective changed.
Lost right now. So yeah, my perspective changed. I figured to, probably discontinue HAPS, and yeah, I had fun for 2.5 years. We do have a couple opportunities through friends and family to put a couple of our sauces and spice packets into stores across New England, which that's kind of fun for me. I think that's
the HAPS brand.
That's the HAPS brand.
Yeah,
yes.
Very cool. Because his HAPS sauces, you guys are to die for. Now, when will this be happening? This won't be happening. The closing is the end of July, correct? So they have time right now to get to HAPS and check it out.
Yep, you have time to get to HAPS to try your last beef, your first beef. Fried chicken sandwiches are great.
Oh my God, the fried chicken sandwiches are to die for.
Thank you, Bobby from Tuckaway Tavern. We spent months, and I feel about it sometimes, but you got to do what you got to do. He crafted the best burger for us, a custom blend, because we do smash burgers, and they're actually smashed with that crispy, edges.
Yum.
And he did, Bobby from Tuckaway, he absolutely created the best burger too. So even our burgers are incredible. And that's again what we did with HAPS. We took a place that had frozen burgers, frozen chicken, and switched it to fresh chicken, fresh burgers, and
it makes a difference.
Exactly. And people started to slowly notice, which is cool. And with the branding, with the wax paper and all the logos everywhere, and people taking pictures. And I know it's our plate because you could see our logo around it, which was really cool.
He's my kid. I love it. He's my kid.
So yeah, so we had the decision to close up shop. I did kind of do some homework with the location, because I do care about the community and the beef people, and I didn't want this just go on the market and it become a florist or something like that. So I reached out to a couple beef shops that I admire and I think are doing absolutely incredible, that look like they want to expand someday. And I have a conversation with Tostimos, and they're in Seabrook, New Hampshire, husband and wife, 2 kids. I don't know their timeline, but I know they took it over too. They bought it from a couple Greeks. Tostimos, yeah. And I believe they're probably around their 2-year mark. It could be a year. And you guys are definitely getting noticed. You could definitely tell he's a chef and he's having fun and he's passionate, and it's not just a job. And I was pretty inspired by that. It basically looked like me and Amanda doing it. So I gave him the call and the conversation, and went and checked him out, and basically told him hey, I have HAPS. You can't have the brand, but if you're ever looking for a second location, I would love for you to be part of this, Portsmouth. And I think they would take it. And the biggest thing was the community and making sure that they'll be happy. And that right there was you guys need to get to Portsmouth. And yeah, hopefully by the time this airs, it's all official.
Cool.
And Tostimos will be taking over the HAPS location, they have amazing beef. They have amazing food. And what's really cool, everyone always asks if we always had pizza, which we didn't, and they are bringing pizza to Portsmouth. So
very cool.
That's a really good addition to
the menu or their menu, and yeah, that's great. Or to the location,
And we did announce a beef shop we'll be taking in, and all the customers are worried. Oh, I don't think the beef will taste the same. It won't be as good. It won't be blah blah blah. And I'm trying to tell people, no, they have great beef. It's different beef, but you'll be happy. It's sliced to order, that's the most important part.
Because you can't slice that ahead of time, because then it won't stay pink.
Yeah, some places have their own little techniques. Your best bet is slicing to order with heat lamps and whatnot.
Cool. Very cool. I think we're good.
Yeah, this is a great little tester.
I think so. I think so. Well, you have to start somewhere, right? You have to start somewhere. I know.
Exactly, because you'll be able to look back at this podcast when you're on podcast 27 or 327 and be like, I can't believe that was then. Camera angles change, the quality, it's fun. But you've done it before too with all your little radio shows growing up.
Growing up.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't. Yeah, you were growing up still. You're always growing up. Sometimes I think of that now with having a kid, because you were my age when you were having a kid, and I remember thinking you were so much older. And I'm like, wow, I was mom's age right now. That's crazy.
Right? It is, it's crazy when you look at that.
Which is kind of fun.
It is very fun. I remember, I'm just going to, we'll end with this, but, Michelle and I, my good friend Michelle, when we started Food for Thought with the Taste Buds, Carol and Michelle, and it's like I'm sitting there right now, our very first show. We were so scared. It was, and maybe a little bit different with the radio because you're going live. So they're hearing you like live. So when we listen to that, we just laugh our heads off. It's just hilarious. So anyway, like I said, we had to start somewhere. But Tyler, and again, I just want to say again, thank you so much because, you're busy. You drive almost an hour to get here. You have your business, you have your family, you have two businesses, your family. And so I just want you to know, you and Amanda, how much I appreciate you coming down here. Because, Mom's a little old and you should see you guys. I have all these notes. Well, you'll see it because you're going to see the podcast. I have all my notes.
I just see people pay way too much money to set up a podcast.
But my son helped.
So I was like, nope, we'll have to just get it done. Yeah, maybe it took a
little longer, but that is fine. Well, there's been a lot going on. I mean, plus, you guys just popped out a baby. I mean, come on. There's been a lot going on. So anyway, I just want to say thank you.
Of course.
I want everybody to know how much I appreciate that. So anyway, all right. So like I said, you can expect us talking about food, maybe a little things beyond. If there's something maybe that you are looking for or someplace you want me to go visit, by all means, you can always email me at carol@beyondtheplatenh.com. And I would love to hear what you think. So thank you all so much. And I also want to, and again, this is my first one, so I should have started with this. I should have said it in the middle, but I didn't. But this podcast is also brought to you by the Red Arrow Diners. They are all now open again, 24/7, Manchester, Londonderry, Concord, and Nashua. So go on in and check them out. And thank you all for tuning in to Beyond the Plate with Carol. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great day.
Have a happening HAPS day, right?
I love it.